Hello, everyone. Is your gratitude journal not quite working for you? And what is the difference between a gratitude mindset and being grateful for a moment? We are going to talk about all of that. So come join us. Hello, everyone, and welcome to I Created a Life I Love.
Hi, everyone.
I am Christine Spindler Denton.
And I am Janette Rodriguez.
Yes, we are. And today we are talking about gratitude and going beyond just journaling. So I am so excited about this topic. It's been a huge shift in my life. And I've learned so much with this through my cancer recovery. So I'm excited to share all that with you. This is our month of gratitude. This is week one. So we're doing a whole month on gratitude. And I don't know. I think everyone has talked about how important having gratitude is in your life and how it changes all of the other things that you do. And I think we're in agreement with that. But we have a little different take on some of the ways that you do that. So I think this is going to be fun. But let's start with what's up? What's up, Jeanette?
Hi, everyone. So, as you know, for those who have been following us and for those who are new to us, I'll just give you a little explanation of what's going on in my life. I am currently in a different state. I moved away from California and I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. So, what's up with me is basically I am trying to figure out myself and create a life I love. And in doing so, I do need a job and to support my habits. So I'm currently looking for a simple job that is not stressful, something that's easy, just to keep me busy and to, help me get to know the community. So something very simple. That's what's up with me.
It's hard to leave and make all the changes that you've made. And I don't know if our listeners know or remember from previous shows, but that you're debating a lot of things right now. You're debating with your husband as possibly starting a family or
Mhm.
possibly, changing careers completely out of education. And we've been trained, in how to educate students and children and adults and professional development and all of these type of things for decades. You've been working in that field, and so outside of the classroom, and training others, as we both have been, for the last number of years. And I think it's really interesting to try and look into that and see if that's what you want to keep doing, what part you want to change, what you don't. It takes time. And I'm really proud of you. I think it's very brave to give yourself that time. Like you're doing it
Mhm.
the way where you have to make some money, right, to keep yourself going. But
Mhm.
you also still want to give yourself the time to really figure out where you want to go next. I think it's not easy to give yourself that time. It's a brave move.
Yes, yes. And
Well,
so still figuring myself out.
As we all are. And that's the cool thing. As we tell you guys every week, we are on this journey with you. Like we're growing and learning and getting feedback from you guys and ideas and all of that. This is an interactive show, and it is definitely where we learn from each other. So, some of you kind of don't know my background too. I've been through a ton of things in the last 5, 6 years of my life, and moved to a completely different area, in the same state, but still, and a different house. My first house that I've bought completely on my own, and figuring out how to do it all single now and with my kids off in college. So I'm an empty nester as well. And, then got this lovely little diagnosis of cancer. And so then that was an addition to, all right, how are we going to navigate this all? So we are in this with you guys, and I hope we are helping each other and inspiring and supporting each other. And so for me, what's up is I have started moving, so that's good. I am, they want you after a surgery to get up and about as soon as possible for blood clots and stuff. So this being my third surgery, I was up, very quickly, but that doesn't mean that you're actually moving, right? That doesn't mean you really kind of physical. You're very, it's very controlled as to what you can do or what I was able to do and what parts I could move. So I am finally feeling good enough that I'm actually going on some small walks around my
Yay.
yard, yeah, and around my house and doing some laps. Much to the hysterical response of my dog, who keeps going to the front doors. Everyone knows I have a huge 170-pound German Shepherd Rottweiler mix, and he is very frustrated, so we're on the treadmill a lot. He loves the treadmill. And but it doesn't take the place of a walk. So he very frustratedly keeps going to the front door as I just keep circling. He's not real happy. And he finally just lays down and rolls his eyes at me like, what the hell, woman? So that's funny, but I am walking and it's very good for me to be physical. I'm a very energetic, kind of hyper person, as Jeanette knows. And
Oh,
so
yeah.
it works best for my brain that is constantly going to, that it has a project and has things focused to think about and to do. And the same thing for my body. So, I've been finding new ways to be grateful for the situation I'm in and what I'm doing and what I can do each day. And it's been a challenge, but a good one. I'm learning a ton about myself, and I am more patient than I thought. So that's a breakthrough I had this week
Oh,
with
yeah.
with my
You have to be because you have very little patience sometimes.
I am not good. I am not a patient person, but I will tell you that I have been from surgery 1 to surgery 3 has taught me patience. Patience with my body, with myself, with all of it, with recovery in general. I have learned patience, and I am definitely not calling myself a professional on this level, but I am definitely improved from where I was in. See, my first surgery was in October, from October. So there you go. Steps on the journey. So let's see. We have a couple of fun quotes that I found today. One is, let's see, I'll do the first one. You can read the second one, Jeanette. But this is from Cicero, and it's gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. And I love that. I think that's true. I think if you start with gratitude, you can then move into all these other areas we're talking about. And like we said, we're giving you a different theme each week, a different tool to take out and put in your toolbox and use when needed every month. We focus on a different tool, and this month is gratitude. And I agree. I think if you start from gratitude, you can move into any of the other tools that we're hopefully giving you guys each month.
Yeah. And the second quote is gratitude is literally one of the few things that can measurably change people's lives. That's from Dr. Robert Emmons. Yeah. And
You
it
can see your
just
puppy.
having gratitude for, it spreads from people to people. So, if you have a lot of gratitude, what is the word? It's contagious. There
There
you
you go.
go.
Sorry, I was just noticing while you were speaking, we could see your puppy. We just saw her little head, and then we
Oh,
just saw the little tail peek up. It was the cutest thing.
I didn't even notice.
We're always grateful for animals, and we'll stop and point them out at any time.
Yeah.
So just know that about us. Everything will stop depending on what animal has entered what room at what time. So that's just how it's going to be. But yes, I love that quote too, because I think it does measurably. I'm struggling today, measurably change people's lives. It really does. It has done that for me. But let's talk about first, like, why is it important, and what is the difference um, a life of gratitude and kind of being in a gratitude mindset versus kind of practicing gratitude and just journaling each day and picking those moments that you're grateful for. So I think that's the big shift for me. That was the breakthrough, which we'll get to in a second. But first, let's talk about why it's even important. So, why is it even important? And so, we have a couple of sources here. So, the first one that I'll start with is from John Hopkins Medicine, and that there is a direct correlation between a positive, grateful attitude and your mental health. Research shows that positivity can improve your physical health as well as your mental health, which we've discussed. And there's a ton of studies on this, how your outlook, your mindset changes everything about the world that you live in and directly affects your mental health and thus your physical health. So it's really, really important. And the other source that we're looking at is from psychiatric medical care, and the quote that we have from them is gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos to order, and confusion into clarity. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. Gratitude makes our sense, makes sense of our past. It brings peace for today, and it creates a vision for tomorrow. And that actually is a quote from Beatty from 1990, not from the Psych Medical Care. That's from Beatty. She is an author. So that's the quote from there. And then I think you did have something from the psychiatric medical care, Jeanette. Did you?
Yes, so we have another quote. Gratitude is a chosen state of being. Where thankfulness is an emotion, gratitude is an attitude of appreciation under any circumstance. Gratitude involves being thankful, but it is more than that. Gratitude means expressing thankfulness and being appreciative of life daily, even when nothing exciting happens. Again, this is from the psychiatric medical care.
Yeah, and that's a great website, and it had a list of some of these really cool quotes and outlooks on gratitude. So it's a great website. But basically, going into why should you even care about gratitude? Why does it matter? And so we're just showing you from very different perspectives and different quotes and different people and studies that have been done as to the effect that people have on their mental health, especially, but it definitely bleeds into the physical health, as we mentioned. But the change in your mental health when you shift your mindset is just so big. It's such a wonderful change that can happen for you. And we're going to get into like how you do that. But first, I want to talk about why it's hard, right? Because none of the things that we talk about are easy to do. It's all that whole easier said than done. And the big thing that happens is you'll start on a path or look at something and say, yeah, I agree that being grateful brings more things to be grateful for into my life, right? That the more I notice and look for things to be grateful for, the more I will see, right? Whatever you look for in life, whatever you set your mind to do, your mind is an amazing tool. And if you set your mind to find things to be grateful for, it will find them and you keep practicing that. If you let your mind just go off on its way, it's going to find all the reasons why you should be scared or anxious because it's coming from that, how do we keep you safe predatory factor that, we don't need anymore. So you have to make sure that you're training and working with your mind and getting it to focus on what you want it to focus on. But it is much easier um, said than done. And what we're really talking about today is how do you make that mind shift? So, to explain what that is that when you are just writing in a journal, you are picking out moments in your day that you are grateful for. And kind of, in other words, saying the rest of it you weren't grateful for, right?
Mhm.
And so you're just picking out specific moments that went well and somehow brought you joy and saying, "Yeah, I'll be grateful for those moments." But why that doesn't necessarily work in really changing your life is for a couple of reasons. And one is the fact is that you're not in a state of gratitude. You're not looking at everything that's happening to you and you're not being in the moment, right? You're not
Mhm,
in the moment. You're in the evening at 8 p.m. at night or 9 p.m. at night looking back at something that might have happened at 8 a.m., 12 p.m., whenever, and there are not feelings usually connected to it. You're not, reliving the moment. You're not connecting to how you felt when you
mhm,
had that really joyous thing happen. And so you're doing this all kind of as something to do and writing down, but it's not actually shifting your feelings, which is key to changing anything in your life is to connect those feelings with it. And you're not staying in the present moment when the moment of gratitude happens.
mhm. Yeah. And if you're like me, just being consistent in writing a journal is very difficult. I'll do it for a good month and then I'll forget. So I think it's very special, like Christine said, to actually feel it in the moment and, reflect on it or, do whatever you need to do in order to um, make sure you express that gratitude for that actual moment.
Yeah, and for me, I just felt really frustrated. So I think the first thing is to, accept that it is hard, right? To stop and be in the moment and be grateful in the moment. It's hard to stay aware in the present moment. And we all know that we've been taught this living in the moment, not thinking about the past, not thinking about the future, either one, but being in the exact moment that you're in is key to really having joy. And so feeling gratitude when you are in the moment is what is going to make a difference in your life. And it's not easy to do, to stop yourself and to do it. But that is going to start helping shift your whole mindset. And so, what I had when I was keeping my journal, because I do write every night anyway, I do write in a journal. So for me, it's something I do every night. But and so I do write down as part of my journaling what I'm grateful for, but it was a very cerebral situation going on. There was no connection for me with the moment that I had earlier that day at all. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm,
So I'm writing out and I'm thinking about that moment that happened, but other than that, there was not anything that happened in the moment, for sure. I didn't stop. And even when I was writing about it, I didn't really feel connected to the moment. I wasn't feeling how I felt in that moment. I was just writing out, describing the moment, but not with any real depth. And so I was starting to feel very frustrated by so many people that I've heard and read and I've been studying. And you guys all know that both of us as academics, we read a lot. We love books, we love studying and learning. We're believe that we are, forever learners. And it helps when you're at home, dealing recovering from surgeries for months at a time, which I have been, because I've read and studied all of these topics even more so. And I was reading about all these people like having these great breakthroughs with gratitude and it changing their lives, and it in no way was happening for me just by journaling, just by doing that. Like that didn't it was not a breakthrough for me at all. And I
mhm.
think that really looking at and dealing with my cancer and finding and said, "Okay, well, if I'm really going to do this and embrace gratitude, and gratitude is so important in my life, and I want to make sure I don't just get through this cancer, but I thrive and I come out of it better, stronger, having learned something about myself, growing as a person, then I need to find gratitude for this." And so it started to switch my whole idea of gratitude, of how it wasn't something I was going to write about in the evening. It was going to be something that I demonstrated and was a part of me all day long.
You're a writer. Like for me, I'm not a writer.
Right.
And so I I actually enjoy things in the moment. So,
So that's
this
so cool.
strategy of actually feeling the moment and being grateful for it really is something that I like doing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. See, that's such a cool skill set that you have, that you
Mhm.
live more. And I know a lot of people like that, that are able to really live in the moment, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
I think, yeah, that's it is it always has been a struggle for me to not
Mhm.
let my head take me out of a moment and a situation. It's something meditation has helped, chanting has helped, sitting just in silence has helped, right? In nature, nature's
Mhm.
been the key for me on that. Being out in nature, even if I'm just sitting out in my backyard, which I've done a lot of while I've been reading and studying, but I'll put the book down and I'll just sit outside for a moment and really be in that moment out in nature. And that's helped me a lot to build that skill. But so I think that you're right. The way to make it a mindset and the way to make it something you are working from and that is a part of you. It's not something you do. It's a set way of being. And that's the
Mhm.
shift that has to happen for you to go deeper into gratitude. Is it has to be that this is who I am. I am a grateful person. And I started out by saying that to myself as one of your actionable steps that we can get into is that I definitely started using that. I have my little mantras that I say to myself every morning and every evening, and just kind of keeping myself and being clear as to who I am, right? And it's who you want to be. Many times I haven't fulfilled all of them yet, and that's fine. But I say my I am statements. And one of them that I added when I was learning this and figuring this out for me was that I had to be a grateful person. It had to be a part of my being. It wasn't something that I did once a day. It had to be who I was. So I added, I am a grateful person to my I am statements. So that's one of my
Mhm.
first, I would say that's the first actionable step to really take is you have to change your mindset to understand that it's not something that you're going to do once a day and just write about. You have to be grateful. It is something that you have to have as a part of you and keep throughout your day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One of the steps that I enjoy doing is actually capturing the moment. I love visuals. I'm a very visual person. So, I'll take a quick, photo. So it helps me remember that time and to be grateful.
But that's so cool. Like we say
Hmm.
this with our students again, always going back to educating and how to teach people and how the ways that people learn are so important. And we've always talked about the different types of ways people learn and what type of learner are you. And
Hmm.
most people are a couple different types. You know what I mean? Like some will learn through listening and auditory, others are visual, right? I mean, others have to learn through touch. There's all different ways that people learn. And usually you're not just one, usually you're a combination of more than one. And knowing yourself and knowing what works for you is where you want to get. Knowing what works for you. That is what is
Exactly.
key. And so that's so cool, Janette, that it's just like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to write this down. Like that just doesn't work for me. I don't enjoy it. It's not
Hmm.
something I'm going to keep up, but I can be consistent if I take a picture of it. Like that's just such a great idea.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Love it.
I love that idea for you. Okay, so the other one is definitely stopping in the moment, right? So, as Jeanette was saying, she does it with taking a picture of it. And you can do that. You can, if you don't want to take a picture, you can jot it down to remember it. Or if you just think you will remember, that's fine. Do that. However you want to do it. But it is being in the moment, stopping and feeling how you feel. That
Hmm.
is the biggest thing, and you do not have to make this a production. Now, if you wanna make it a production, you go, you be you. If you wanna make it a huge, big celebratory moment so that it will really stick in your brain and start training your brain that you are looking for moments of gratitude all the time and you are always receiving things to be grateful for, right? We want it to become a habit for your brain, a habit for your body to connect with these moments. If you want to make it a big deal, do that. Like, make that pathway a freeway. Do you know what I mean? Like, do that. But if you want to, let's say you're in the office and someone just comes up to you and says something funny to you, or your best friend at work just makes you laugh with some comment, and you want to remember that moment, you can make it as tiny as just getting up from your desk and walking like you're going to the restroom, and inside your brain be going, oh my gosh, feel how happy that just made me. Feel how joyous I am right now. Feel how like I'm just laughing out loud because of what, they just did or said or whatever. Remember this moment. This is a moment I am so grateful for. Look at how my life has so many cool moments. Any of these phrases, you want to connect to that moment. That's the point, is that you don't want to just be remembering this later. In the moment, you need to stop and identify these moments to train your brain, your body, and everything to react, identify, and feel grateful for as many times you can do this throughout the day. And again, it's just training your brain to recognize these moments of joy and to feel grateful. Right? And so and then hopefully the more you keep doing it, and I've been doing this a while now, and it definitely happens, you start to just string them all together, and you'll find you've had 2, 3 hours where you're like, "Oh, wow, that was hysterical. Whoa, that was really funny. Wait, oh wow." Like you start to just be like, bam, bam, bam. Like, this is super cool. What a great day I'm having. Oh, I'm feeling so great. Like, they start to string together and to affect your whole mood. And then that just builds and builds and builds in your level of gratitude and the amount of moments that will come into your life to be grateful for.
Yeah.
But if I do write out things I'm grateful for, um, I make sure that it's something new or different to create a new thought way or pathway, for my brain as to what it is. And I really make sure I relive the moment. Like, I feel how I felt at that moment, right? Because again, it's been proven again and again scientifically, your brain does not know the difference between what that mind is creating, right? Your body doesn't know the difference between what that mind is creating as an event that's happened or the real event. So you want to really fully relive it, feel how you felt. So don't just be writing something down. Put and attach feelings and the moment. Put yourself back in that moment and really feel how you felt and be grateful for that, for the feeling as well as for the first moment. So you're doubling down kind of on your level of gratitude, but attach feelings to it, to that journal writing if you really want to continue to work on a gratitude mind shift. So it's a state of being, not just something you're doing.
Yeah.
Any pointers on what they could do with their visuals?
You can create little folders, even shared memories on your phone. You can even share it with people that you want, maybe you have a shareable gratitude moment. And those are really, nice to look back at, especially if they're experience whoever you're with is experiencing the same thing you are, and maybe they captured it from a different perspective for you to see. So that's something that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful point. I think being able to go back, and if you're having a really bad day, like I will tell you that this journey with um with cancer, that it is not a straight line. Like, dealing with a diagnosis and healing in any way, even if you're healing like from an injury or something, a sports injury or something, you don't heal in a straight line. Like, you'll have good days and then you'll go back 2 steps or whatever. And it's the same thing with loss, right? Loss hits you out of the blue, you'll be fine for 3 4 days, and then the feelings of grief will just hit you, and it
Hmm.
doesn't there's no rhyme or reason to any of it. So there's no judgment in it at all, because everyone does it in their own way and goes through it in their own way. But when you do have those dark moments or those tough times or those challenging things, having these moments of gratitude to go back to, I think, are fantastic. I think that's
Hmm.
wonderful. You can go back and open up a folder of all these beautiful pictures and all these great moments, and that's wonderful. Or go back and flip through your journal. And then if you do that, though, it's the same thing. Really make sure that you're not just looking at them, right? Or reading them, that you really take the time to try and feel how you felt in that moment and connect with those feelings and make it real for yourself. As and reminding your brain and your body exactly how you felt grateful. And
Yeah.
it's really important to kind of cement those feelings. So there you go. So those are some, hopefully you guys will apply those. Those are some actionable steps that you can hopefully take this week. As always, give us some feedback and let us know what worked for you, what didn't, how you switched it up. Because remember, as we discussed quite a bit last week, we are all unique and different, and that's a great thing. And we all connect with certain things and not others. Some things work, some things don't. So it's always fun to hear how you guys have changed things up and made it your own. Email us at I created a life I love at gmail.com. And Jeanette, what is your moment of joy?
So, my moment of joy is actually just going through the process and finding myself. Oh, there's my dog. She's in the background. As you can see, I think she's
So cute.
hungry. Yeah.
So cute. I love it.
She's ready to be let out. I
Like enough talking already, people.
know. She's
Very
so what is
cool.
your moment of joy?
I think mine has been embracing, embracing this journey and my sarcasm along the way. I think that was my moment of joy. And we talked about last week how the way that you get through things or handle things and do things, that your personality is a part of your journey and should be helping your dreams, helping you be who you are. You shouldn't be going or trying to fight against your unique personality. And one of the parts of my personality, for better or worse, people, is my sarcasm. And I think it's something that I used to try and fight against it and try and not be so sarcastic, and I've just embraced it. Like, it's something I've become grateful for because I found my people and the people that get my humor and that get my sarcasm and are right there with me. A lot of them, I have to be honest, are like my generations, the Gen Xers, because sarcasm reigns supreme in our childhood and growing up, and we have definitely not lost it. And I just have learned to embrace it as part of my personality and be very, very grateful for it because I crack myself up all the time. As I'm here on my own, like, recovering. Like, I have tons of friends and family who have been here for me through this. So I don't want to make it sound like that, but I do live alone. And so I've just learned to embrace my sense of humor and crack myself up as I'm, struggling with something or something goes horribly wrong. Yeah, that humor and those comments come out and they make me laugh. And so it's been something that I'm truly grateful for. And when I make a funny comment or a very sarcastic comment, I am definitely stopping in the moment, being grateful and laughing.
That's awesome.
Mhm. All right, everybody. We are to the end now, and we want to remind you that we'll have our Monday Meditation Minute out. Please use those. We've gotten some great comments back from people who are using those Monday minutes and just stopping. And this will help you with gratitude too, is just stopping in the minute, walk around your desk for a minute while you put it in like your um, ear and just listen to the waves or listen to a breeze through the trees and reset your mind for your intention of the day. Remember, this is your life. This is your time. These are your days. And make sure that you are focused on what you want. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, your attitude and your focus is your choice. So use those Monday meditation minutes to keep you in line with wherever you want to be. And then join us this month. Our ebook and our digital pages are all about gratitude, right? And you get a different digital page each week that aligns with what we're talking about here. So you become a member and get that. And we're also going to be starting some workshops that are going to be cool that you can be a part of too if you're a member. And we'll have our monthly newsletter. coming out. So look for that. That'll have some fun sources.
And for next week, we are going to be talking about spreading joy through gratitude. So that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's gonna be great. I think that's really good. So first you gotta figure it out for yourself and get yourself feeling grateful, right, throughout your life. And then one of the ways that does help that and support that is spreading it. So I think we're gonna have a really fun talk with some great actionable steps and ways that you can really spread joy that puts more joy out there, spreading that gratitude. Your puppy.
Yeah, I know. She's ready to go.
Love it. All right. Bye, everybody. Go out there and create a life you love.
Bye, everyone.